I know. I just woke up and like, fuck it. Who cares about the hair? And it's 10 o'clock in the morning, but screw it. Said it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So let's start
Oh
this off.
Jesus! Oh my
Hold on.
God!
But
Although
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, after this shit show, I feel like I need a drink.
yeah. So you ready to start there? So
This
we
is
are.
it. This is it, everybody. Thank you if you've made it this far.
I know.
Following us on the Justified City
Yeah,
Primeval limited series
yeah.
slash shit
And
show.
you know what? Say what you want, guys. This is why I like doing stuff like this with you or Enzo because dude, it's been this is 8 weeks. Well, actually, well, episode 1 and 2, so 7 weeks. But
7 weeks, yeah. I
yeah,
think,
but
yeah. Is
time
that right?
flies, man. Yeah.
Time flies,
So,
yeah. We both been living in new places and
yeah.
doing different stuff, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
So let's talk about the mixed feelings, the season finale of Justified City Primeval. Well,
Yeah, quite the roller coaster. So we're starting off the episode where we left off at with after a quick recap. We've got the Albanians bringing Mansell and uh,
Raylan.
Raylan. Sorry, it's early, guys. Bringing Mansell and Raylan over to the what was clubhouse, safe house, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That belonged to the Albanian Mark
Mm,
that Mansell had targeted in an earlier episode and
yeah.
smashed his leg. And
Yeah.
I finally recognized who this main Albanian is. I finally
Okay.
figured out who he is.
What was it?
He was the prison. Uh, I guess you would call him. He wasn't a guard, but he was like the prison supervisor on Oz.
Okay.
He had like an Irish name, if I
Yeah.
recall correctly, or whatever. He was
That's
like the main,
shit.
like he was like right underneath the warden, so he was like the Oz prison supervisor. It took me so long to figure out who he was.
Yeah.
So now they've locked Mansell inside of the safe house,
Mm,
and we see that Carolyn has struck some sort of a deal, I guess, to get the book, and I guess to keep Raylan safe, and I guess to
yeah.
ultimately take out Mansell without Raylan having to get his hands dirty.
Yeah. This is
And
yeah.
go ahead.
But no,
Yeah, go
scene. I
ahead.
like the scene. Just interesting how a 5 minute scene we can break down. But Mansell off the bat, Mansell thinks Carolyn's on his side, and he's not. And then just the look Raylan gives Carolyn just like that. What the fuck is going on? And I
Timothy
wasn't.
Olyphant needs an Emmy for just his acting. He can do so much with his face.
Mm,
He can do so much with his facial expressions.
yeah,
And I'll tell you, for all the complaints I have about this limited series, and I have a lot,
yeah,
especially after this episode, with it being over. Um, I'll say this, man. Olyphant has really picked his game up and taken it to another level
mm,
because he has such limited dialogue here,
that's true.
and you can see this kind of war going on. He's like, this is not how I do things. This is
Yeah,
not. I don't lock people in holes and leave them there to die.
yeah,
Maybe the things that Raylan has done has not always been super great. I mean, he manipulates people into gunfights when
mm,
he can't get them the legal way, and
yeah,
he did the thing with Theo Tonan's main goon, where he had the Dixie Mafia gun him down at the airport and things like that. So yeah, he's done some questionable things, but you can see that this is eating at him.
yeah,
I mean, it's an easy answer. It fixes everybody's problems. It
mm,
solves so many problems all at once, and it's clean. But it's just something that you know we realize Raylan can't live with.
yeah. But
So
it was weird for me because the Albanian's looking at Raylan. He goes, "You want him taken care of?" And then he looks to Mansell, him taken care of. And I first thought it was going to be some kind of a shootout because, like, so do you mean taken care of? Like they're going to try to kill Raylan and Mansell? Like that's with the way the dialogue was. Like I'm not sure where this is going. And it's
yeah, I
it's like,
wasn't either. I
yeah.
wasn't either.
So, and it's like you said, I'm watching thinking to myself that, okay, so the Albanian guy gives Raylan the book, and now everybody's satisfied. But number one, Raylan's kind of pissed off, but also, and this will play. And is the first 5 minutes, I'm telling myself that this isn't going to go down well because if you guys want this fucker dead, you shoot him. But why are you locking him in a safe house? And it's like, it's setting it up where, like, this isn't the last of the guy. You're locking him in
Oh
a
yeah,
fucking in a room. Like, why?
yeah,
I don't,
yeah.
okay.
Do you think that's something that Raylan considered? Like that was part of what bothered him was the fact that he kind of somewhere in his brain knew that this cage was not going to hold Mansell,
It's gotta
and
be
that and
because Raylan's smart enough, yeah, to know that this cage is gonna hold this guy's because he's escaped through worse shit. Come
yeah,
on, man. It's like, and then plus Raylan Ball counts right now. He wants him dead after the
yeah.
past
Oh yeah, that's
7
obvious. Yeah.
episodes and how much shit this guy's gotten away with. He wants a fucker dead, but right now he can't shoot him because of all Albanians and stuff. But yeah, this
Well,
is
plus
far.
they had his gun too.
That's true. Yeah. So
But yeah,
yeah.
I hadn't considered that till you said it, whether that was a factor. I mean, I definitely could read this kind of tearing up. Again, this is maybe like a kind of a slimy way. I mean, it's surely an effective way. I mean, you don't have the guy's like, hey, we'll just leave him in here. Oh, this is where he was hiding the whole time, and he accidentally locked himself in there,
Yeah.
or he was hiding in there from the cops, and then
Mm,
oh, the smell is bad. Oh,
mm,
look, we found him. I mean,
yeah. Well,
that's a bad way to go, and
mm,
certainly would be, pretty brutal. So I
yeah.
could see it, but at the same time, it's not something it's definitely not something we've ever seen unjustified before, and it's not something that
Yeah.
Raylan is comfortable doing.
Yeah.
I don't even think Carolyn was really comfortable with the situation, if I'm being
Mm,
honest. She seemed to be kind of just over the whole thing and just disgusted by it. Like,
mm,
yeah, this is the deal. I mean, I'm really shocked that she was able to broker a deal with the Albanians.
yeah.
I mean, I get it. Possibly there's also stuff going on where she's like, "Hey, once I get into this judgeship with
Mm,
this book, maybe I owe you guys a favor or whatever." I'm
exactly.
sure that was something that definitely could have been something they could have showed.
Mm,
But sometimes less is more. I don't know. I mean, it's
yeah.
definitely something I would have showed had I written it.
Yeah.
Her making some backdoor deal with them. But whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. I get it. And again, like I said, I cannot speak enough about how Timothy Olyphant's face is.
I agree.
It says so much without saying anything.
Yeah.
He can do so much with just a facial expression,
Yeah.
the consternation on his face, like, like, oh, this I don't do things like this. This is not me.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like, he looked really uncomfortable through the whole thing.
definitely.
So
And well, what's funny because after the ad, then we get to our next scene, which is it's laughing because like the Albanian guy's telling Raylan, "Oh yeah, there'll be a smell, there'll be blah blah." So now, of course, we
yeah,
show Mansell his point of view and looking in the safe house. And the first thing after he lights, his lighter and gets the light going, "Hey, what do you see on the shelves? A bunch of fucking food." I'm telling myself that it's okay
yeah,
unless so. Besides me not having a bathroom, which anybody could piss or shit in the corner or something. So
right.
now you're gonna. I mean, what the as I'm watching, this thinking the average guy's body and stuff maybe can go 30 days without fucking food and who knows what kind of water supplies in there. But the premise is, okay, so what are you gonna do? Make him wait out 3 4 months or some shit? Because these guys
I
got
think that was
supplies.
the idea. Yeah, I think that was the idea. And it's funny that me and you's brain both worked exactly the same. Like, we start like adjusting to our surroundings.
Yeah.
But Mansell being like this tiger in a cage, he can't deal with it. His first thought is how to escape, how to
Oh
get out
yeah.
of here.
Yeah.
And when he can't, when he gets this resistance, fuck the supplies, fuck the entertainment. I like the juxtaposition that he destroys the TV. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
And he just starts trashing the place
Yeah.
because he's like a tiger in a cage.
See, I was telling myself that I'm not sure how much stuff is in here, but I kept telling myself that giving enough time, he enough time passed by, he's gonna find some way out. That's just the way the kind of person he is. He'll figure whether it's a blunt force object or cracking through some kind of like finding a hammer to break the cement. But in some way or another, this is a very temporary situation. There's no way this guy's gonna be in there that long. That's just all I was thinking with him. So, um, yeah, and now we're back to Carolyn and Raylan at the diner, and he's got the book and just
Just in
not.
case we needed to be reminded that these two have no fucking chemistry at all. Let's have a nice little let's slow the narrative and the pacing of the episode down
Yeah,
with a whole no chemistry, want to go to my
yeah,
place
exactly.
bullshit scene straight out of
Yep.
Empire or something like
I'm
that, or
looking at it
straight
right
out of
now.
Bounce.
Thank God, this is actually a 1 minute scene, even though it feels like when they're on screen, that 1 minute scene feels like a fucking 10 minute scene.
It drags
Oh
out, especially if they're
Christ!
doing some romantic kissy face
Oh,
bullshit.
yeah,
Those scenes
yeah,
drag for me because
yeah.
they have no chemistry. We
Mm,
literally got like 60 seconds of him and Jackie Nevada, the little cute card shark girl in season 4
Yeah.
who was smoking hot that, when he gunned down the guy in the bar. Um we got 60 seconds of her getting in the shower,
Yeah.
and we get 8 episodes of Carolyn.
Mm.
I mean, I there's no dude. I don't know, man. I gotta go along with RR TNZ
Yeah.
on this. Is that is just the worst. I do like this next scene where they're
Yeah.
rolling up on Maureen,
Oh
the
yeah.
hot redhead cop,
And boy,
who
oh boy.
we had found out in the previous episode that she is indeed crooked.
Yep.
So Brill, her partner, has chosen sides. Not gonna lie, I'm a little surprised and disappointed that it turns out Brill's actually the good guy and she's a piece of shit. I like that it subverted my expectations,
Yeah.
but I kind of liked her and she's got a great pooper. So I was a little upset that she turned out to be the bad guy.
Mm.
So for those who don't know, as we're moving on into the episode, so Raylan and the two good cops take her in, and I guess she's going to go see internal affairs. So now we switch
Yeah.
over to, I think Lansing, Michigan is the state capital. I'm wanting to say that's correct. I don't know
I
much about
yeah.
Michigan,
That's why I assume
but
too.
it appears to be.
Yeah.
And now we've got Carolyn doing her business with, I guess it's the governor's aide or the AUSA. I'm not really sure who
Yeah.
she's talking to here, but um, you know what? This is probably the best Carolyn's looked in the entire
Uh,
series right here. You know what I mean? She's not unattractive. It's just that she just doesn't. There's no chemistry between her and Raylan. So now she's doing the whole
yeah.
political thing. She's making her move
Mm.
with the stuff that she gleaned from the book.
I do
With
have that
her,
one thing. At least Brill, at least he gave her the courtesy of saying that. But he's like, "Well, we're not gonna do
let's
this."
not do this.
If I,
Right? Yeah.
yeah, so I give him that
Yeah.
much.
I
But
mean, I kind of yeah. I mean, that dialogue kind of writes itself, though, doesn't it?
oh yeah, and to that, what you're saying, this character she's talking to, Diane, she's actually the lieutenant governor.
Ah, I
So
see the lieutenant.
that's the
What did I
title.
say? The governor's assistant. So
Yeah,
pretty
but
close.
oh, yeah, like you said, and they go back and forth the whole like, and I feel like this kind of shit happens. Oh well, you want the judge guy's position, and she gives her this whole speech, but the whole like, well, I can be an ally to you, I can help you
Yeah.
out. And of course, the whole like, just it's like you can, the whole hint, like, and so how do you mean, like, what do you mean you can be an ally to us? How can you help us?
Are
And
you
like,
are you reading? I gotta say, dude, are you reading the captions? Because
oh,
you're
of course.
saying it exactly. Oh, okay. So you're saying it exactly. You we must be synced up really well
Yeah.
because you're like reading it exactly as I'm reading it on the cat.
Well,
Because
'cause
I have the sound turned down
yeah,
and
yeah.
again, I mean, obviously this is the second time me and Chris
Mm,
have watched this. So excuse me, blue collar. So now we've got so we leave that little political agenda and now they've
yeah.
got Maureen in the box, as
Mm,
they say. Standard interrogation, Raylan standing in a security type position, and then
mm.
the three investigators with her by herself on the other side of the table. And what do you think about how she plays this? Do you think she played this
Oh,
well, or what do you
I'm
think?
telling myself that. I mean, I'm no forensic person or psychologist, but when a person is just oozing fucking guilt, their first reaction is anger, and their first reaction is to lash out, and the whole like, oh, you guys got nothing on me, and fuck all you in this room. And her rant is just first she starts laughing, he starts doing nervous laugh, like it's like you're playing off like you're innocent, and I'm looking at again. Oliphant doesn't say anything. He's just staring at her, and it's like I know I've got you by the balls, and we've got you, and now she's just nervous. But the way she lash out at her coworkers, you're like, lady, it's so obvious you're fucking guilty, and you know
Yeah,
it.
and
So
caught.
yeah,
Yeah, and as a reminder that coming up in Harlan County, Raylan has seen all the dirty cop. I mean, how many different dirty cop characters was there ever like a good cop except for that one state trooper that he was friends with that got killed in season 3, Tom something or other. Except for him, was there any cops that weren't crooked on Justified? Wasn't every
Jesus,
single sheriff crooked?
yeah, really, it seems like it.
I don't remember any I don't remember. Didn't he gun down a guy dressed up as a cop one time that was like bringing Boyd in or something?
Yeah,
And, he even has a speech in Justified where he was just like, I grew up seeing all these dirty cops, and now
yeah,
that I'm a marshal, I see even more, and I kind of expect it. It's not that big of a deal. It's just
Yeah,
I hate when you guys act all indignant or whatever because especially once you're caught.
yeah,
So I like the little bullpen detective area thing here. I wish we would have had more of that where they
yeah.
you could see the little boxing gloves hanging off of Brill's lamp.
Mm,
Him using the little the hand flexor thing and stuff like that. Like I like this little bullpen cop area. That
yeah,
looks pretty realistic to me. That looks like most police station
yeah,
detective areas of police stations that I've seen. So we're back on. I'm on an
yeah.
ad. Are you on
What?
an ad?
Yeah, but well, like I always skip forward with the ads. Like when we're talking, I do like right here that both the cops there, Brill and his partner, are talking
Hmm.
about where's Mansell, and again you can see it's out front, like he's wrestling, like
Yeah.
I know where he's at, and it's like
Right.
I want to give him up and let you guys know. So now he's wrestling because I'm thinking Raylan's wrestling. Should I just maybe say fuck the Albanians and tell these guys where Mansell is at and bring him in? So he's like, I have to go home and just I gotta go home right
I
now.
think he was definitely thinking of bringing him in. I don't think he was ever really considering letting these guys in on it.
Yeah, not sure, but yeah, this next scene again. Oh boy, as soon as I'm like, you see Raylan, he's holding the hand. I'm like, oh man, I did not want to see this scene.
I haven't made it there yet. My ads haven't caught up.
Well, we'll break it
Uh
down where he's having a very long speech with Carolyn in a bathtub,
yeah,
and
I'm not caught up. I'm not caught up there yet. I'm still watching an ad
yeah,
about HPV prevention.
it's just
So, which is
the
very important everyone. Get your Gardasil because HPV prevention is very important. Gardasil
uh,
9.
yeah,
See, this is how these will get monetized. I can do these commercials. And our sponsor today is Skillshare. If you want to
yeah.
learn, if you how many YouTubers use Skillshare
I
as like
not
their
many.
main sponsor? Oh
Well,
man, I could actually do a pretty good commercial if they give me a chance.
I know you.
All right.
I,
Oh yeah, here we are. All right,
yeah.
I'm caught up.
She
Oh
just
god,
yeah, it's just more of like the endless like no chemistry, but she's trying just I don't know. It feels like this is just eating up airtime that should be going back to Mansell or something important.
eating up
It's
airtime. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't care about this.
yeah.
Nobody cares
About winter
about
in
this.
Detroit, and it's heating up. It's everything.
Heating a pool in Detroit. Oh,
Oh
boo. Oh,
yeah,
poor you that you were married to this
mhm,
himbo that wanted
yeah,
to spend your money the wrong way and you didn't know any better because you're a low 3.5, maybe
yeah,
4, and you
it's,
got this good looking dude that was obviously a player and he
yeah,
played you and you're upset about it. Boo.
yeah,
BOOHOO,
yeah.
Carolyn. Nobody cares.
Mhm.
Nobody cares, Carolyn.
Lisa,
There's only one thing, and it's near the end where I actually enjoyed her character.
mm,
Um, at the end of this. And other than that, and I am reminded because I just bought book Elmore Leonard book Out of Sight and
mm,
sent it to one of my prison friends. I'm reminded that Elmore Leonard did like to write a bunch of romances between unlikely people, so I
mm,
could kind of see where his son was going with this.
mm,
You know, assuming that I don't believe this is like a woke agenda,
yeah,
and I definitely believe it is. But let's take that off the table for a second and pretend like I don't think this is some wokeified bullshit to
mm,
put on regular TV, right? Um, there is a long history of Elmore Leonard novels where you have bodyguards with the idea of the movie The Bodyguard was originally taken from a short story that Elmore Leonard wrote. Criminals with cops, U.S. Marshals with bank robbers, things like that. People who ordinarily would not fit, making them have kind of like a cool romance. But again, in all of those stories, they all had chemistry with each other. I want you, when we're done with this, I want you, and I know you're super busy, to get Out of Sight from 1998 with George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez and either watch it for the first time or rewatch it again
oh
and
yeah.
watch the crackling chemistry they have. Their chemistry is on fire.
I
You would
remember
swear.
it's been a while since I've seen it, but I know I remember because it came out when I was about 18. I remember liking that movie. It's been a while since I've watched it, but I did like it. Yeah, so you know what? Good. Could rewatch my kid because my kid, I'm always showing him older films. He's 16. I was about 17 when it came
Yeah, he
out.
can
So
handle it. It's nothing
yeah,
super bad
I
in
know.
that. Yeah, he can
I do
handle that.
remember. I do remember liking it.
But yeah, I mean, and that's been a thing. So if I was being generous, I could headcanon that maybe that's what Elmore Leonard's son was trying to do, was
Yeah.
like make that okay. But you know what? It didn't work at
No.
all. Like they
Yeah.
should have looked at this and gone, is she a good actress? Yes. Is he a good actor? Of course. But some people just don't have fucking chemistry. Anyway, so we're done with that bullshit. Raylan shows up at the safe house. What's he going to do here? Was he going to come in and kill him, or was he going to come in and arrest him? What do you think?
Oh God.
I mean, we know neither one of those things happens now, spoiler
Hmm,
alert, but what do you think he was planning to do?
huh. I mean, I would say kill him. I mean, honestly, Railing just because he's just because the only good thing about that scene with Carolyn was she's like, God damn it, Raylan. He's like, yeah, yeah, no, I get that a lot, and he's like, fuck, he can't,
Yeah.
yeah, he can't live with it.
No,
So
he can't live with it.
yeah, but
And here
man,
we go, a good flashback 2 hours ago. I
oh,
love this
dude,
so much.
because
This is
it,
such an Elmore Leonard trope right here. I love it. Drink,
yeah,
everybody. I just said Elmore Leonard trope, but yeah, man, this is exactly
yeah,
what this is. If you read his books, this is what his books are like. His
mm,
books are, it leads you, it leads you, it leads you, and then it jumps back real quick to give you a
yeah,
different perspective so that you
uh,
understand where the chaos is coming from. And what is
oh,
this guy's name again? Do we remember? I don't remember
I
this guy's name.
forgot. Look at the scene again. He opens up the door, and I'm seeing there's even on the shelves there's toilet paper on the shelves too.
Yeah.
See, this is
Yeah,
like a
no, again, me and you and pretty much everybody else would have been like, all right, while I'm trying to figure this out, I've got food, I've got water, I've got supplies. And
yeah,
no,
even
uh
a TV.
Mansell, yeah, yeah, and a TV. And I think he had video games and shit in there too. I don't know
Oh
fucking.
shit.
But Mansell
Yeah,
was having none of it. He's like, nope, I've got to get out of here. And if I can't, I'm just gonna destroy
yeah.
the place.
And I
So we've
love
got one of the main goons talking to the Albanian shot caller's son, the one that kicked all this stuff off, the one that was the original Mark,
mm,
um, really from episode one, if we're being honest.
yeah,
And he can't live with laying in bed and letting somebody else take care of this. He wants to get involved.
yeah,
And you could maybe think that this goon, this bodyguard, maybe he grew up with the kid
mm,
and they like they were, because they seem about the same age, so maybe he grew up with him and he feels like, all right, you know what, bro, go do. But you know what, this is really silly to send a guy hopping around on one leg even with a pistol go to. I mean,
ah,
he really should have went with him.
that's the first thing I was thinking watching this, man. It's like, yeah, first off, you're gonna send a guy who's on crutches. Okay, yes, he's got a gun, but you're sending him into like Mansell, who is, and like you said, by all accounts, a caged tiger. And it's like
Yeah,
as the door is slowly opening, I'm telling myself that yeah, you are unleashing a fucking caged animal, and
right,
you're hopping on. First off, even at your best day when this guy was fully able, man, still would still fucking tear you apart. And
exactly,
now you're gonna add guys
exactly.
on fucking crutches. And I'm like, and I'm thinking the guy won't even get a shot off. And of course we were right. And it's not even a fucking fight. It's like me fighting a 4-year-old.
Right, exactly. It's like that line, not even on your best day, and your best days are long behind you.
Yeah. But no, it's like you said, and what Oliphant, when Raylan first goes there, before we see the flashback, he looks over and I'm thinking, what is he looking at? And then we find out. So
I
boy,
mean, there
it,
was really nothing. There was really no other way. I thought it was either the son or the main shot caller Albanian, but I was pretty sure it was going to be the son because they had to close off his story arc. Close it off. Indeed, they
yeah.
do. Yeah. For anyone not watching with us, the Albanian Mark decides he's going to take a gun off of uh, one of his friends. That's the I guess random goon, bodyguard, whatever you want to call
Mm,
Albanian. Remember that because it's going to be important later.
mm,
And shows up on his crutches in a cab because he's going to put one in Mansell and put him down. And of course, Mansell is ready for this. As soon as he heard that door gear up, he got ready, hid, and then pounced on the guy, kills him with his bare hands, doesn't even have to use the weapon. And then now we're back in regular time, and Raylan is realized that Mansell is loose and very likely armed,
mm.
and he's giving Carolyn the run code, get out of the house, that
Yeah.
kind of situation.
Yeah, and of course, as we expected, Mansell, because I'm thinking, who's gonna go after first, Carolyn or these Albanians? And he's like, "No, I'm gonna take care of the Albanians."
It's what I would have done.
Mm,
Carolyn will always be there running around somewhere. She's a regular square person for the most part.
yeah,
He could always find her, but the Albanians are definitely something that, could get on top of him if he doesn't handle it quickly. And plus, he's probably
yeah.
just pissed off.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I always
you
love
know,
too when bad guys have small rules. Like the old man, you tell yourself that Mansell easily could have like take care of this old man. Like, I'm not here for you, and just he thanks him for the extra gun.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's kind of like those weird, like
I
weird.
think this is I think
Yeah.
this is the point when I realized this was the guy from Oz when they showed him from his
Mm,
profile. He does pretty good with the accent. I mean, I don't know
mm,
what an Albanian accent sounds like, but
yeah,
um yeah, so and I did like the detail that I wish they would have explored more. I like this detail that the Albanian guy is like he's created his office inside of a retirement home.
yeah,
Although that poor guy dressed up as Michael Jackson from Thriller, Mansell just randomly pops him. That guy was like just going to get like some food or something. I don't know what he was
yeah.
doing. And then so he comes into the boss's office and he's basically pulled a Joel from The Last of Us and he's just
Mm,
popping guys
yeah.
left, right, and center. And then of course the main goon instinctively goes for his weapon, but it's not there. Why? Because he loaned it to the kid and
Yep.
now it's in Mansell's hand. And of course,
You know,
Mansell being who he is, goes after he pops the main bad guy, goes through the drawer and finds a
money.
stack of cash
Yep.
because that's Mansell's whole character. And this poor old guy who is probably on dialysis is like, oh, I'm gonna grab this pistol and go in here and see if I can brace this guy. I like the fact that he braces his arm here. You're like, you get the idea that maybe this old guy was in the war and he's held a gun before because
Yeah.
he's not that awkward with it. I mean, he looks
Mm,
scared certainly, but he you know
yeah.
I Mansell takes him sort of seriously, but not too seriously.
Hmm,
Takes the gun away from him, and hey, thank you,
mm,
and gives him a little pat on the shoulder and walks out.
yeah.
You know, now he's
So
got two guns instead of one,
I know you have to
and
catch up.
now I'm on a ad
Ad,
break again.
yeah. So because we're gonna set up in well, I'll wait till you catch up. Basically, so this is the 23-minute mark until the 28-minute mark, and this is again how 5 minutes. 5 minutes, you can unpack a lot with a good scene versus 5 minutes and a shitty scene can drag on. And we're gonna have the
Mhm.
epic like conclusion with Raylan and Mansell, the thing we've been building up for 8 fucking episodes. And how is it gonna go down with these two? I do, it's this weird thing where Raylan and you'll catch up with it, but he sits down, he's waiting, he's just waiting for Mansell because he knows Mansell's coming for Carolyn.
Yeah,
Simple as that. And it's kind of cool. Mansell breaks open the fucking window and stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, it's a bit much." And right now, Mansell, he's not armed, and Raylan's just sitting there waiting. And all I'm thinking to myself is that at what point are they going to do the draw? And Raylan is obviously way fucking quicker. And surprisingly, Mansell does like this whole dialogue with Raylan and the whole the whole bad guy of like we could have been friends in a different lifetime, and if things were different, the whole that cliche.
yeah, you're jumping ahead a little bit there, big guy.
Yeah. But it's dialogue like that where you have a protagonist and a villain, and the villain just like it's. I always got the feeling with Mansell with Raylan during these 8 episodes that it's the Batman Joker thing. Like Mansell doesn't want to kill Raylan. I just don't get that feeling yet. I feel like he, in this weird way, kind of likes him, plays off him and shit. He's having fun with Raylan, and that's where I'm getting with this entire scene because it's like Mansell didn't come in there guns blazing, and even with the previous episode with the Albanians, because Raylan wants to pull a gun, Raylan's ready, and said, and
Yeah.
we're looking at Mansell, he's like sizing himself up and sizing Raylan up, where it's like he wants to pull on him, but they've got a weird dynamic.
All right, I'm back on, and Raylan is approaching Carolyn's house.
Well, I like a fucking small line. Raylan's like, yeah, well, if your mother was in a wheelchair, she could have been NASCAR, and he's like, I love you, Raylan. You're always joking like that.
I
He's
am
like,
not quite there yet. At this point, Brill has given Raylan a phone call talking about the aftermath of the
yeah.
the Albanian massacre at the old folks' home.
It's weird how Clue has different ads here because my ad ended with the old man giving Mansell a gun, and then the ad picks back up with
Mhm.
friggin' Mansell coming into Carolyn's house. But yeah, it's just like well, by all accounts, I knew this was going to be the end for well, not Raylan, but Mansell, and I'm thinking to myself, how is this going to end? And it's kind of cool where Mansell's freaking he pops up he pulls a beer out of fuck the fridge, hands Raylan a beer.
Mhm.
So it's like right now you still have like Raylan's ready, but Mansell gives off no vibe of he wants to fucking get into a fire, kill him. He just wants to talk with the guy, and he goes into the whole like my old man and his DNA and shit.
Yeah. All right, here I'm caught up with you, I think. Um,
So
but yeah, talking about his old man being a real barn burner.
yeah,
That's definitely a Midwest expression.
yeah, and we're coming up to and like this. I really have enjoyed our time together, Raylan, but I got to get going.
Yeah. This whole time, I mean, again, we've seen this before though, haven't we? How many times have we seen the bad guy getting ready on a draw? It either goes one or two ways, right? It's
Mm,
either a situation where uh the bad guy is trying to talk Raylan into a distraction, whether it be Boyd sitting at the dinner table. Maybe we should just do a shot of Jim Bain and call it a day,
mm,
or it's, the guy in the bar and talking about, taking it to the edge and things like that.
mm,
But then again, sometimes Raylan does it, like when he in the first season when he has the gardener with the nice shoes come out getting ready to shoot him and he talks him out of it by showing him how fast he can draw, just having a regular
yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
So, but yeah, that's more of this.
And I don't know why, maybe because of the previous episode with Sandy, I just had this gut feeling where Mansell wants to share with Raylan his music. I don't know why, just that clicked in my head. And lo and behold,
Yeah,
I was fucking. I don't know why. That's one thing I can call it in this show. And it's like I have something I want you to remember me by. And even right there, nothing with Mansell. He didn't come across as he has this weird in his own head fucked up friendship with Raylan, and he was there to kill Carolyn. He wasn't there to kill Raylan. It just didn't feel like that. And he pulls out a fucking mixtape. Oh
yeah,
shit! And yeah, of course, Raylan being who he is, I mean, it's like we saw Alphonse. I mean, damn, the guy has missed a beat. He can fucking draw in about half a second. Like he is quick.
yeah. As fast and as accurate as Mansell has proven himself to be, and as deadly as he is with a pistol, that draw and fire scene, Raylan's still liquid fast.
Yeah,
He's probably faster than the camera can even. He has the second he touches leather, you see those shots ring out. And he gives him
yeah.
two right in the chest.
And unfortunately, it took us 8 episodes to see this, but I mean, to his credit, again, fucking Oliphant, man, damn it. So he hasn't missed a beat. The guy's pushing fucking 60. Jesus Christ. So, and of course, and like Mansell, the dialogue, he's like, "What?" He's like, "What friggin' what? Why'd you kill me for?" It's Mansell's behind
Yeah,
Carolyn, just trying to give you a mixtape, dude. And he's like, he tells Carolyn, "Oh, you're calling EMS?" And she's like, "Nah, I called the city morgue." It's like, "Oh shit."
and
Wow.
I'm back on ads again.
But so what's your assessment? So after after the 8 episode build up, were we expecting some kind of big massive shootout between Raylan or Mansell, or did the finale live up to the? I mean, we still have 15 minutes left in the episode, but
Yeah, I mean,
Mansell's done with.
I mean, do you want me to give you what I would have done in the
Oh,
like if
definitely,
I
yeah.
was writing it? Well, hang
I
on
mean,
one
we'll
second.
figure while the ads are going, we can discuss all this.
Absolutely.
It's like it's weird thing how stuff ends with characters. But part of me expects this big massive shootout, but then part of me kind of like likes the poetry where Mansell, in his own sick fucking mind, consider Raylan a friend. I would say almost like Batman Joker. Like, because Batman's always just like, it's like he thinks the Joker wants to kill him, and that was one of the most powerful lines in Dark Knight. Like, I don't want to kill you. You complete me. You make life fun. Mansell
Yeah.
has a weird kind of Joker Batman vibe with Raylan.
Yeah, I think with Mansell being a psychopath, I don't think he really uh I don't think he really ever thought he was gonna eat it. I really think he thought he was just gonna keep going and going and going, like the Joker.
Mm,
But he wasn't the Joker, and if you go to pull leather on Raylan, there's
yeah,
only one way it's gonna end up. I mean,
yeah,
unless you got a lot of guns and a lot of guys, and if it's just one on one, my money's almost always gonna be on Raylan Givens, and that proves accurate. So I'm going to pause it at the 6 weeks later and give you, before we move on, I'm going to give you my quick synopsis what I would
yeah.
have done.
So,
Now, obviously, it's a little anticlimactic, but I would challenge anybody that's a fan of Justified to tell me when gun battles like that happen with Raylan. up to and including the one at the end with Boyd Crowder
mm,
at the last episode of the original series, when was it not anticlimactic? Even when he went up against Boone, it was only slightly more dramatic just because Raylan caught one a graze to the head and he
yeah,
actually went down. Now, I'm saying that to say this, which is, if it's a draw fire gunfight, I mean, unless you're gonna go do some kind of Zack Snyder slow mo bullshit, I mean, it's basically just gonna be, quick hands and a quick shot, and we've seen Raylan do that dozens of times on the show. So that's really the only
yeah,
way that was gonna come out. Now, what I would have done is had a situation where Carolyn could not make the deal, or the deal went sideways with the Albanians, and instead of Mansell escaping and then wiping out the Albanians, we get a weird buddy team up similar to what happened in The Boys season 3 finale,
mm,
where you had Homelander and Billy Butcher teaming up for a little bit,
mm,
where Raylan and Mansell have to get their guns back or get some guns back, and they wind up in a warehouse shootout with the Albanians,
yeah.
and then finish their business with each other. That's how I would have done it, because we would have gotten a lot more blood, a lot more shooting, a lot more body count to sort of make up for the fact that it's been like, very vanilla, and Raylan has been nerfed through these last 7 episodes, so to speak. So that's what I would have done. I would have,
Yeah.
really ramped it up. And to anyone that would critique it and go, "Oh, what are they going to wait till the last episode to throw in a bunch of cool shit?" Well, I present to you the end of this episode and,
Yeah.
and show you that. But that's what I would have done it. So on the
Yeah.
one hand, it was anticlimactic in that way. On the other hand, all right, I'm going to hit play.
Mm,
On the other hand, it's basically the only way it would have done. So now we're 6 weeks later,
mm,
Miami, Florida, and the chief. I do like the callback. This is very accurate, especially since I've just got done on a rewatch
mm,
with Justified. I'm in season 6 now, but these last months or whatever. So this is I guess a retirement party and a speech that Raylan's partner uh is giving to uh his daughter, and he says the exact same lines that he said to Raylan in season 5, I'm thinking, when Raylan had to go do a quick mission in Miami while he was still assigned to Kentucky. How he was saying, "Hey, I keep telling my daughter who wants to be a marshal, business school." Same line, same stuff. So good callback, really good callback. All the same actors. Too many to name. All good character actors here. Dan Grant, the chief marshal, is retiring, and ironically enough, he is actually wants to recommend Raylan for the position,
Which
which
first,
anyone who
yeah.
anyone who's watched the show would know that that was never going to happen.
Hell no. Yeah. It was a good little, the scene was basically 28 to, well, not that scene, that one's a couple minutes, but the entire segment is 7 minutes. And I'm sure like some people may get upset by this, but Raylan says, yeah, I quit.
Yeah,
It's like, oh shit, okay. We didn't see, I mean, and who knows? I mean, I think, I wonder, and you would know more than me maybe, but like, do you think Detroit burnt him out of wanting to be a marshal?
I think so. I think that whole thing left a bad taste in his mouth, and I
Yeah.
think that I think if for if nothing else, good came out of that stupid bullshit bathtub scene with Carolyn.
Mm,
It was her saying, how his daughter probably misses him and stuff like that. Because
yeah.
I mean, look what he's had to sacrifice. Was any of that worth it? To miss all that time with his daughter. You know what I
Uh,
mean? He got embroiled in a case that wasn't his in a town that he doesn't belong to.
mm,
And just I'm sure the whole thing just left a bad taste in his mouth, and
yeah.
he's probably trying to forget the fact that he
Mm.
slept with this really unattractive middle-aged black woman who's looks like Grimace. He's probably trying to like put all that stuff behind him.
So, upcoming, I was scared for a second. Thank God it didn't play off. But we see Raylan back there at his house doing some painting. I see a truck pull up. I'm thinking, oh God, please, please don't make it where she moved down to Florida and they're going to be together because I was nervous that was going to happen. Like, fuck, please no.
Oh, no, no,
I,
I knew it was the daughter. I knew it was the
I
daughter.
just, well, it just, I mean, I just, well, when you first seen the truck with on the package though, I said, I thought that may have been Carolyn moving or some shit. That's, and then you
No,
see Carolyn,
yeah.
well, Carolyn had some a moving truck. I'm thinking, oh no, but yeah, but because she sends Raylan a very nice, some alcohol. And of course we see her becoming a judge. Shocker there, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was no way she was gonna give up her judgeship
Yeah.
for, skinny, redneck guy dick, you know
However,
what I mean?
in the letter though, she does say that, well, if things don't work out up here, maybe I'll come see you in Florida. So it kind of left that open in a sense. So, yeah.
Eh, they could just leave that shit behind,
Christ.
I would really appreciate it.
But and yeah, so it was good seeing his daughter again, and of course they brought the actress back, his ex-wife.
Yeah.
Nice seeing her.
Yeah, like RR said, man, she hasn't aged a day, although I originally knew her from the TV show The Shield,
Yeah.
where she looked
Uh,
much, much younger, and then she was also on, that Showtime series, where David Duchovny's a writer and he has sex with a bunch of hot chicks.
I forgot. I know what you mean though. It's
You
been
know
a
what I'm talking
while.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was on that. She was smoking hot in that. If you ever get a
Yeah.
chance to watch that, she was
Yeah.
great. She was a
But
psycho. She burns his house down. She's great. She's one of those actresses who could do funny
yeah.
and dramatic, all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff. But yeah, I remember her from The Shield, where her and Vic Mackey had a little fling
Yeah.
for a couple episodes.
Fucking God, what a good show, man.
Yeah, great show.
Um, yeah. So and just shit, she doesn't get a lot of dialogue, nor does she need it. But and she's like, you actually you quit, and I'm retired. It's like I'm retired, and she's like, oh, so she's like, you couldn't do this for me, and he goes, no, but she's like, I'm glad you did it for your daughter. So that
Yeah.
was cool.
Was it maybe also the speech that his martial partner gave too? Seeing his
Oh,
his martial partner,
I love that speech too, because you say like the hours are long and the years are short. Yeah,
yeah.
time fucking flies, man, for all of us, and that's we're both parents, and Raylan's a parent, and I've been teaching my kid to
Mm,
drive recently, and I'm like, I literally was holding my son's arms when he took his first step, and now I'm teaching him how to fucking drive a car. It's freaking me out, dude, and I'm not even a marshal or something. It's so
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah, trust me, I'm well aware.
So like they said, that's a very hard job, and it's gonna be it's all of it. It's his daughter getting older. It's the shit with Detroit. It's time for good old Raylan to retire and go off into the sunset. Because I'm looking at the episode like, wait, there's 8 minutes left. What could possibly happen in the next 8 minutes?
Yeah.
So, but are you satisfied with Raylan now being retired and living out his days with his daughter?
Um, I mean, are you asking if I believe that that's going to happen?
Yeah, I just yeah, as right now, Raylan's retired. He's retired and he's done. And I mean, this is Raylan's goodbye. Is this a good goodbye to Raylan?
Uh, I don't believe that that's going to happen
No,
though.
I'm just saying. I mean, I
So
as I'm watching, I'm
if
thinking,
they left it here, would I be okay with it?
hmm,
No, I want to see Raylan go out in a blaze of glory or something like that. I don't want to see him grow old and fat in Miami,
yeah,
remembering his glory days working at a bar somewhere. I
yeah,
don't want to. I don't want that. I
hmm,
want to see Raylan get in a fucking shootout. Go out
yeah.
hard.
Well, I already
That's what
skipped
I
it.
want to see.
I skipped through that as we're talking because yeah, I'm like, okay, as so I was checking Hulu, like there's 8 minutes left. What's gonna happen? Some kind of scene with him and Carolyn, and boy was I wrong.
Yeah.
Dude, the second
So
the
if
second it says Kentucky, I'm like, "No fucking way."
yeah, yeah. If you're not watching along with us, or if you're not unsynced up on the same time, right now I've got Raylan getting on a Fed boat. And if you're wondering, do they really do stuff like this? Yes, they do confiscate stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, if you are a criminal and your stuff gets confiscated, there's somebody running around with your shit right now. So
Mm,
yeah, the marshal would definitely get on a boat. And not that in I'm from South Florida. Listen, even I can get on a boat somewhere. It's not that difficult to do.
yeah,
So it's not like for anybody living in the Pacific Northwest or the East Coast like you, or even the Midwest like me now.
yeah,
If you live down in the South Florida area, it's extremely easy to wind up getting on a boat, and just going out in the middle of
Yeah.
the ocean for a little bit. It's
Hmm.
it's not, or hell, you don't even, you just go off the intercoastal, or you know, it's extremely easy to do, even if
Yeah.
you don't own one or whatever. So it's
Yeah.
not that, it's not a bunch of money that Raylan had set aside that he like took off at drug dealers or something like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. I'm back on ads again. Boy, they really like cranking a lot of the ads on. I don't
Yeah.
remember this ads being this much when I watched it at 3 o'clock in the morning, but
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
I wasn't paying
you can
attention.
catch up because you've already watched, you know what happens. But I was pleasantly surprised, but also want to ask you, were you shocked about seeing this scene? And because I come on, guys, I can never get enough fucking Walton Goggins, and I'm like, holy
As
fuck,
soon as they showed, like you said, as soon as they showed Kentucky, I was like, "Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? Are
yeah,
you really giving us the one thing we wanted for the whole thing in the last 5 or 6 minutes or
yeah.
whatever of the last, at least within the last 10
And
minutes
we gotta
of
say it
the
again.
last episode?"
To say it again. I look at this motherfucker has not aged. I mean, he's got like maybe one gray hair on his side, but like, dude, he looks exactly the fucking same. Like,
Who, Walton Goggins?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, he's doing good. He's doing real good.
Yeah. So now so canon wise, we've been so this what 8 years since Raylan's seen him, or it's been about 8 years. So he's still 8 years.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So it's still 8 years later, and he's still doing the whole like brother Jesus stuff, and he's doing the whole shit about God and stuff. Like he's been still stuck in prison for 8 years now. He's still preaching the good Bible and the good Lord and everything. And okay, didn't see that coming. But
I do like, I will say this. I like how I like how well, one, I like the fact that he burned the swastika off of his arm. That seems like something that he would have done. Especially if you could see he has like a multiracial uh you know
congregation, yeah,
congregation, thank you.
yeah,
So I like that. And if you flash back, by the way, if you flash back to season 4, he's asked when he's being held by the Dixie Mafia, or excuse me, the Detroit Mafia, and the one guy asks him if he believes in God. He's like, I do not. So you know that this is all just like a big scam that he's utilizing anyway. So you have that. Um, but aside from that, I do like the way that Justified City Primeval's cinematography works, showing us places, because we've been to Tramble Prison many, many times
mm,
on the original Justified show, and it really gives it kind of a movie quality.
mm,
The whole atmosphere changes in these last 10 minutes.
mm,
This is it, and it kind of pisses me off because it's giving you, it's like in the last 10 minutes we're going to give you the show that you wanted the entire time. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
that makes me very mad.
yeah.
I am not pleased about that.
But as this is happening, I'm sitting there. He's just talking about, and I'm thinking, is Boyd Crowder? He's like, well, I'm being transferred because my health is in decline. I got to figure out what's going on. And my brain is thinking twofold: is Boyd Crowder really sick? It's been a while.
No.
Is he
I
sick?
did you
Or
really believe,
I mean,
can
because
you
it's the way these characters are. What if, I mean, it's not hard for a guy to develop cancer in fucking jail for some shit
I
something
didn't believe
happening.
it for a second. I didn't believe it for a second.
I had to just wonder: is he really fucking sick? Or once he says I'm being transferred, I'm like, is this son of a bitch gonna do what I think he's gonna fucking do?
Oh, I knew he was going to do it. I
'Cause
mean, what else would be the point?
well, that's what I'm saying. It's just but because it's been 8 years, but it's like, I mean, I just maybe he's got more patience than I would, but like you've been here for 8 years and now you're finally gonna make a move. But okay, yeah. And let's see. I was wondering maybe if Raylan would be a part of it. I'm thinking now it would make sense for Raylan to be part of his transfer because he's back in Miami. So
Yeah, no, I
and
didn't think that.
all I kept all I kept thinking is, yeah, as the camera's panning away and stuff, and the transport vehicle is driving. Once he starts fucking screaming, I'm like, oh god, we know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and at first I was like, okay, bullshit, because I know on a prison transfer, they don't care if you freaking die. They are
Yeah,
not going to stop that transport. And especially with just two guards. But we see why they do here in a second.
yeah. That part I didn't see coming. I'm not sure if you did. I thought like he'd have a bunch of like boys or something waiting to like go basically surround the whole fucking transport vehicle and take him out. But
I did.
just
I thought that too. I did think that
yeah.
as well.
So I didn't see this coming with damn, even like friggin' I forget the actor's name there, but the Hispanic actor, he's like, "Are you serious?" And he starts making out with
Yeah.
her in front of him.
Fun fact. He actually plays he plays Cholo in the Out of Sight movie version of Elmore
Oh
Leonard's
shit.
story, Out of
Yeah.
Sight. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the guys where he's been in everything. I keep forgetting his name, but he's been in so many roles. Like, oh shit. Yeah. But yeah, friggin' the whole thing with fucking Boyd starts making out with her and stuff, and
Yeah.
Boyd is free.
I thought he was just gonna pull a Mansell and just like come after, get the best of these guys. But of course, typical Boyd Crowder fashion, he's got to do it in
Yeah.
style. I heard a comment about him one time. You know, you say in 20 words what you could have said in two. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And this chick, pulling the shotgun on her partner, and turns out had her. He's had her turn the entire time.
yeah.
So you know, here we
So
got Boyd Crowder. Boy, he just chews up the scenery in
yeah,
every scene that he's in,
yeah.
man.
The fuck is
It's magical.
he's in the episode for 5 minutes, and he's hands down the best part of the episode in 5 fucking minutes.
I would say he's in this episode for 5 minutes. He's the best part of the whole fucking limited series. I would go that far as saying that.
Last time we see him too, he's just fucking. He throws out the jumpsuit. He's in the friggin' car, like, ah, and of course,
Hey, did this chick not clean up really well, or is it just me?
oh
Like,
yeah,
she cleaned up good, man.
yeah,
Oh my god.
yep.
Yeah, she is.
Hmm.
Woo.
I
Good.
know.
Good job. Good
And
call, Boyd.
and again, the dialogue. So I'm like, okay, episode's over, and of course, I was wrong again because we have to get a wide shot of Miami, and the first thing his daughter says, and he's sitting there, Raylan's got his eyes closed. She's like, kind of boring, huh? She's like, I like boring. I'm thinking his daughter just Raylan just retired. His daughter's like, yeah, it's kind of boring out here.
Yeah.
Yep. And boy, I wonder what's going to happen next. Fucking, he looks up at looks up at his phone. And, yeah, look, there's an alert.
Yep,
And it's
big
like,
federal marshal alert. He's sitting there chilling on the boat,
yeah.
right off of the coast.
So law enforcement says federal inmates escape from, yeah, right there, Trample. Actually, I can run it there. Federal inmates. It's funny it didn't say inmate singular, plural, but okay. So
Did
yeah,
it
it
say
says,
inmates? I can't see
oh,
it
sorry.
from
Yeah,
where I'm
sorry.
at.
Yeah. Law enforcement alert. A federal inmate escapes from Trample Penitentiary, Kentucky. Considered armed and dangerous. Contact the local U.S. Marshals for additional information. Now, Raylan, to be fair, takes the phone, puts the phone down, and okay. And next you see the fucking phone. His phone's going off.
Again, I'm reminded, quick segue. I can't get over how much his actual daughter looks like the actress that he's supposed to have had the daughter with. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Winona.
So
Yeah, how much she looks like Winona.
I had to
I
pause it.
just,
Sorry, I had to
yeah, go
pause it
ahead.
too. Where it says Marshall's office. There it says Kentucky. So they're actually calling him from Kentucky, the Marshall's office.
Yeah, yeah,
Just as
you know who
this.
that is.
Gee, I wonder. Yep, and that's I just had to check the episode, seeing any post credit scene, which there isn't, and that's the end. Just the phone's ringing, and Raylan's looking down at the phone, and Justified Primeval is over.
Justified City Primeval is over.
So were
Fi
you? Yeah, so because you said you're kind of pissed, I love nostalgia and stuff. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I was so happy to fucking see Walton Goggins. I was smiling ear to ear because the way it ended and shit, and it's also really I left the cliffhanger where like you said, oh, is Raylan actually going to retire?
Yeah.
So how did you feel about?
I don't know. Are they setting it up? What are our thoughts here? Are they setting it up for another limited series to get come back altogether? I mean, we've got the writer's strike, we've got a pending pandemic again. I mean, like
Yeah.
what are is this just like the Henry Cavill Superman popping in at the end of
Uh,
Black Adam? What are your
well, I
thoughts?
mean, I'd ask. Well, that's what I was saying. I would assume, based on ratings and how the show goes, they would bring him back for more. But you know more than me because this is like you said, an adaptation, but they changed a lot from the book of City
Well,
Primeval.
yeah,
So
yeah.
is there more in the books where Raylan goes chasing Boyd again? 'Cause I don't know.
No,
Okay.
no, no. The farthest we get with the Raylan and Boyd Crowder story sort of goes to probably somewhere around season 3 or 4.
Okay.
That's as far as we go. Now, there's like some, the whole universe. They have the Karen Cisco who was from Out of Sight, and then she had her own limited series or show
Yeah.
that ran for one season, which is a shame because it was really done. She's a Miami U.S. Marshal, and that's how they had met each other in the past. She did pop up in one episode of season 5 too,
Hmm.
and it's played by oh, what is her name? The really gorgeous chick from Watchmen.
Oh, shit, I have her name too. I don't shit. I can't think of her name right now. I know you're
Yeah,
talking
the
about,
really
though.
gorgeous Italian chick, Carla Cugino.
Oh,
No, no, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Carla Cugino. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so but there's stuff with her. There's a lot of stuff that they could do. And again, I can only assume, I'd have to Google this and look it up, but I can only assume, I guess his name's Taylor uh Leonard, maybe, is Elmore Leonard's son. I can
mm,
only assume that he's been bequeathed the rights to all of his dad's properties.
yeah.
So I mean, technically, he could do whatever he wants. So I will tell you this: that despite a lot of people like us that have serious qualms with the show, it's done pretty well. So now, whether or not that is people hungry for Raylan stories and they just don't care that it's so different, or people who are looking at it with fresh eyes who never really watched the show that much, I really don't know. It got a
Mm,
really high Rotten Tomato score. Not that that means anything,
yeah.
but the audience score was really low.
Yeah.
So, make of that what you will. But
Yeah.
again, I really don't think we can take anything for granted that isn't already in the works now. With we don't know how far this writer strike thing and all this stuff's gonna. We don't know how far that's gonna go on for.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. It's
Yeah.
it's really hard to say. I don't. There's no existing materials right now to answer your question better that would apply to Raylan or Boyd or anything like that. They went on the TV show. Hang on one second.
While you're doing that, I have to, like you said, look at the audience scores. They're definitely lower than Rotten Tomatoes, but I have to look
Yeah,
at also the
yeah,
ratings because ratings, matter to me. I care about numbers and stuff, and I'm
yeah,
gonna see. Yeah, the ratings definitely episode 1 and 2 were the highest, and of course they've declined. They've definitely declined about 30%. So they've kept so they have kept the same audience, but and it's also hard nowadays to tell with TV because this is live ratings, but they're pulling at about 800,000 people. But that's
yeah,
also like that's live. People like us who are watching a Hulu. That's the problem with the whole Nielsen thing nowadays. Like
yeah,
people, yeah, they count by when the show's being aired, and like you said, I don't know a single person, not my friends, family, anybody who watches live TV anymore. So you can't really say like the ratings are lower because like people like us are watching the shit on apps. So
yeah.
what all the ratings mean? Will it warrant a season and more seasons? I'm not sure. And uh yeah, so I mean I definitely said I'm a fan of Oliphant, I'm a fan of Walton Goggins. I would love to see Raylan's return. And so I just want to ask you, so as somebody who's read City Primeval, I mean, we both have had our ups and downs with this series and this season. So, what are your thoughts in terms of an adaptation from the book? Is this a good or shitty adaptation?
It's a shitty adaptation.
Okay,
As much as I love Raylan, he was totally neutered in this. As
I
some
agree.
people have complained, they made Carolyn too big of a character, where she was only like an ancillary character. Uh, I did. Well, let me say all the bad stuff first.
Okay.
The pacing is way off on the show. It's nothing. It's nothing like Justified, and it's like they used the Justified name Trojan horse in this other thing, when really they could have just done an adaptation They had the same actor. He wasn't that old. They had the same actor that played, Detective Raymond Cruz before. They could have had him in there going up against Mansell. They could have brought Raylan in as a bit character on the side, or just made, or just brought the whole Boyd escaping and then Raylan gets a phone call at the end. They could have kept the end exactly like it was to piggyback onto the next thing, onto the next Justified revival. You know what I mean? And they could have even used the name. People would have been a little confused at first, but they could have given hints and, interconnected stuff. I mean, Elmore Leonard was a big 2 + 2 = 4 type, person. So it's not unheard of for him to have characters slide into. I remember watching Out of Sight, and I was working in a movie theater at the time, and I remember watching Out of Sight, and Michael Keaton, uh, his character, his federal agent character pops in, and someone who knew I read a lot of these books was like, "Is that supposed to be the same guy from Jackie Brown?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "He's a character." I was like, "Jackie Brown and Out of Sight written by the same guy, and that they brought in the same guy to kind of." And then at the end of Out of Sight, they have a quick cameo with Samuel L. Jackson playing another uh, character from Elmore Leonard's stories that breaks out of prisons and stuff like that. And that wasn't in the book, but they brought him in from other stories in order to give it a little bit of like an open ended type thing. So yeah, man, it's like they could have done that differently. With They have this whole Elmore Leonard world, but they didn't trust the audience enough, and so they kind of like Trojan horsed Raylan in. I think that's what this is going to go down. Say if they do something successful later on, where they do a revamp and they have Oliphant and Coggins going at each other as Boyd and Raylan in another limited series, or a whole revival of the show together, whatever. They're going to do that, and they're going to look back on this and go, "What was really the fucking point of this? There was no point. They shouldn't have done it this way. It was a mistake." If you were not going to make the Raylan character be Raylan,
Mm.
then why even have him in there? He was almost like a guest star on his own show,
Boy,
you
that
know.
happens a lot,
So,
huh? Mm.
but all right. So the good stuff. Mansell was incredible. The atmosphere was great. The cinematography was great. I really felt like I was in Detroit. I've never been to Michigan. I don't know anything about it. Again, like I said in a previous stream, it's funny because two of our favorite shows, like they take place in Michigan, and or at least stuff that we're into with Mayor of Kingstown and stuff. I liked it. I liked a lot of the side characters. I liked the plot of it. I mean, I liked the book when I read it. So if they had stuck to the book,
Yeah.
and again just kept Raymond Cruz, I think it would have been great.
Mm.
The actor was there. He's a great actor. He has not gotten that old. I know the book is old, and I know the last time that he played Raymond Cruz was in 1998, but that's not that big of a deal. So it'd
Yeah.
have been a little bit of an older character. That's fine. I mean, shit, they had Raylan rocking gray hair through this whole thing,
Yeah.
so that's no big deal. That's fine. I really just I think they went about this the wrong way. I think they
Yeah.
didn't trust the audience enough to do an original property, and really, like, if you wanna plug, this is the thing with books to TV. I am definitely a big proponent of books to TV. I hope one day my books become TV shows. I think that's the best way to do it. I think that movies don't often have the time to give certain books, especially if you have books that have like an interconnected universe
Mm.
the way that certain authors do, especially Elmore Leonard did. So I really enjoy that. But if it goes off the rails right away, which this one did, then it just ruins the whole thing. But then you have stuff that can be done excellent, like Gillian Flynn's Sharp Objects on HBO. That limited series for that book, Sharp Objects, was amazing.
Mm.
It can be done right, but then you have disasters like NBC's Will Trent, based on the Karen Slaughter novels of Will Trent. And that's terrible and totally woke and a bunch of garbage. This falls kind of somewhere in between, if I'm being honest. We had a good couple episodes. I liked a lot of the ancillary characters. I really loved Mansell. I thought he was great. He's really fleshed out. from what he is in the book. In
Mm,
the book, he's actually an ex-cop, which is kind of funny.
mm.
So, or I think I remember. It's been a while since I read it. I think that's right though. But regardless, they give him a lot more to do. They really didn't pay anything off. I got to go back to a bitch. They really didn't pay anything off with the big book MacGuffin. They really didn't do anything with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. For me, I'm gonna, if we're giving it a rating, what are we doing? Thumbs down, thumbs up, stars. What are we doing?
Well, before I do that, so your assessment, and I would say 8 episodes. I think maybe possibly, if I'm being generous, 4 good ones.
Agreed.
You think? I mean,
I
let's say
agree.
4. So
I
we're
agree.
looking at we're looking at okay, so 8 episodes, right? So we have 4 good, 4 pretty bad, especially the one Carolyn one. So it's like so it's 50%. We liked it. So it's like if you're gonna watch an hour and a half movie, that's like telling people that hey, this is a good 45-minute movie, and would I recommend a 45-minute movie, like half of a good movie to somebody? That's a problem.
Yeah.
So, boy, rating system. So, I everything you said, I agree with, and everybody, the criticisms from RR to anybody, other people out there, that definitely Mansell's awesome. Oliphant hasn't fucking missed a beat. He carries the show, and he's the only thing watchable. But there's so
Hmm.
much bullshit going on. It's like it's. I could definitely see people that are diehard Justified fans, and you said yourself that why was it created for if it's this is a lesser sequel. So in terms of a movie, that's like saying well, okay, Predator. Predator 1 and Predator 2 are pretty fun. I wouldn't say Predator 2 is good, but boy, everything after Predator 2, Terminator 1,
Yeah.
Terminator 2 are good. Everything after. So damn, dude. If I'm gonna say that half the episodes were good, then I'm gonna say out of 10, then we'll say 5 out of 10 for me because there are shit I like, but there's so much I didn't like. So 8 episodes, if 50% of the show is good, then 5 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. No doubt.
Let me see. I mean, I don't
Agreed.
think I don't think it's 2 out of 10 because no, there is a lot. There's still a lot of good. Oliphant fucking and like you said, and you and anybody is that the fucker's facial expressions. He does. Raylan doesn't have a lot of dialogue this entire 8 episodes, but this bastard can act. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
But would you so if some diehard Justified fans are saying that based on reviews, I'd skip this series. Would you think that it's okay to skip this series because it doesn't?
I would say it's okay to skip the series if they wind up doing something later on with another limited series or revamping the show altogether, like they did with Dexter,
Mm,
and going down the road of uh, Raylan chasing down Boyd. Then really all you'd need to watch is the quick 10-minute, 5-minute recap of the end of episode 8 in this series, and you can skip this altogether. So if
yeah,
you're a fan of the show, skip it. If you're a fan of the book, I give it a hard maybe. If you're
yeah,
just a fan of Elmore Leonard's movies and TV shows, minus Justified, this could be the show for you, which is ironic since it's touted as like a Justified property.
yeah.
So that's a hard sell. It's not a bad show. It's just like it's kind of like it's kind of like True Detective season 2. If
Mm,
they had called True Detective season 2 something different, I
yeah.
think it would have done well. And that's sort of an insult to season 2 because I actually like season 2 of True Detective. But
Mm,
had they called it something else, like I remember one reviewer saying just call it the L.A. Whatever the fake L.A. town it is in in season 2 of
yeah,
of True Detective instead of having the True Detective name on it, where everybody was expecting to see the same thing that they saw in the first season,
yeah.
not understanding that it was an anthology.
Mm,
Then yeah, I would have definitely done that. So yeah, I mean, if this had been something else, I think it would have been fine.
mm.
But it's not. It's terrible, isn't it?
No, it's yeah. It doesn't.
It
It
should
doesn't.
not carry the Justified name, I guess, is basically where I'm
I was gonna
going
say that.
with
I
that.
said this is you. You shouldn't have carried the Justified name because people expect the high quality Justified, and this feels like yeah. It's and like and we're gonna hope that this could be anything. Like we have hopefully sometime next year reach your season two, and you're hoping you want to hope that season two is just as good as season one. That's it.
Yeah,
So yeah, definitely. It's like I like talking about this with you. I like talking about the show. I still like Alphon, but overall, yeah, definitely. I'd say somebody who watched the entire season and a couple of seasons in prison. I am definitely let down because you expect more. It should have been better. It wasn't. as shitty as it could have been, but it's nowhere near the quality of Justified. And so hopefully if they do something else, maybe low ratings, lower in fucked up tomatoes critics, lower audiences scores, this stuff is easily fixable. It's not hard to
Very
fix the
fixable.
problems. Yeah,
Very fixable. Even my meager writing skills, I could fix this shit.
yeah,
I'm gonna throw out a prediction right now. I predict that this whole excellent ending with Boyd becomes the Henry Cavill Superman showing up at the end of Black Adam for this show.
yeah.
I think that's going to be a thing that I think in like 5 or 6 years somebody's going to be doing a recap of whatever great shows that wind up ending badly, and they're
Mm,
going to talk about this because I watch stuff like that on YouTube all the time where
yeah.
they do like a list of shows that were once great and went off the rails. Justified finished strong, never went off the rails, ended great. Then they tack on this limited series to
Mm,
do what? Deconstruct the protagonist that we all came to like. Because
yeah,
it's like, no, look, he's this weak old white man now.
yeah. Boy.
And
All right.
I
Well,
hate to jump on the bandwagon and say that, but I mean, I just because I like to not see woke everywhere, but I mean, this shit was
yeah,
just unnecessarily. I mean, it was unnecessary. It was, and that ending it hurts it more than it helps it because it shows what it could have been,
yeah.
and it could have been something really good. It could have given the audiences what they want,
I
but
agree.
instead it gives us 5 to 10 minutes of what we want,
Yeah,
and then 7.8 episodes of episodes that we don't want. We're not interested in it. If you're a
yeah,
Justified fan, even me as an Elmore Leonard fan was struggling to get through it.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah, my final thought will be that anytime TV show when you can tell people that hey, out of 8 episodes, what's going on? Well, if you do yourself a favor, watch like 1 and 2, then skip like whatever 4, 5, 6, 7, right to 8. Anytime you
That's
have to,
bad. That's
anytime
bad.
anytime I have to tell somebody, hey guys, skip these episodes and everything will be fine. That's not good television.
No, that's not good
So,
television.
so
No,
yeah,
not at
but
all.
overall, it's still regardless if the show is good or bad, it was fun talking about it. We're getting some viewers, and this is pre-gaming Yumi for the flow we're getting, and then we'll start talking about something we enjoy like Banshee.
Facts.
and
Facts.
everybody watching this, I'm getting Banshee done, but it's gonna be a lot more interactive because this is just like the reaction video and stuff. But hey, anything new in the future, like definitely what we're doing now. I love to. I'm hoping Reacher season 2 isn't like they don't put it all at once, but it'd be kind of cool if we can do an episode. I like the weekly episode recaps because it pans it out more versus just binging something.
Yeah.
So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens with that. But there's plenty more TV out there, and plus with this strike coming up, like hey guys, cool. The strike coming up, we have plenty of other shows to break down.
Yeah.
All right,
Definitely do.
yeah. So thanks all 5 people now. I think we have like 1 point like a couple hundred views, so we're getting
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about the quality of the show, guys, but we didn't
there.
write the fucking thing. Um, but
and
hey, and you know what? We're not the kind of YouTubers that are just gonna shit on everything, but
no,
we're not gonna blow smoke up your ass and goo goo gaga Rotten Tomatoes and say everything is great when it's not.
yeah,
This is a character we dearly loved.
yeah,
It's properties we dearly loved. We come at it from two different viewpoints. Again, I'm a big fan of the books,
yep,
and it just disappointed me, and
yeah,
it's not something. So my final analysis is like, honestly, just give it a pass. You're not gonna like
uh,
this. If you've ever watched Justified and like Justified, give it a pass. If you never watched Justified, you might like it. I don't know.
yeah,
And you just like
yeah.
crime shows, you might like it. It's not a bad crime show.
That's why I said
And
I respect you because I asked you flat out as an adaptation. You said it's a shitty adaptation. Hey, I respect that
yeah,
opinion. So,
yeah,
all right, man. Hey, this is our longest one yet, but because there was a lot to unpack, as much as this episode, I did like it a lot, but there was a lot to unpack with the finale of Justified City of Primeval.
all right.
So, yeah, I'm gonna edit this stuff and it'll be out later on today.
All right, stay toxic, everybody.
All
Hang in
right.
there with us. We're going to do something cool next. We're doing
Yeah.
Banshee.
All right.
Hang
Thanks,
in there.
guys.